Love my lovelies. So we are at a cemetery near me. This is one I've never been to before. It's called the Crystal Valley Cemetery. It's in Manitou Springs, Colorado. It's really tiny. So we're going to walk the whole thing. And there are a few people out here today. So we're just going to try and be quiet. I am mic'd up, so hopefully we capture something on camera today. But there's just a couple of people here. So we're just going to walk around, kind of explore the grounds a little bit, and then we will find a spot and set up our equipment. There's quite a few people out here with their dogs, even though it says dogs are not allowed in here. Apparently nobody's reading the rules. Shocking. Oh, here's a nice old one. That's what I was hoping to find, with some of the really old headstones. So let's see. So 1820 to 1912, 1823 to 1901. Oh, and that one's a little baby one. That one, can't tell. I think that says 7 years old. Yeah, there's lots of little old ones here. Let's see. 1854, 1895, this one 1820 to 1912, 1823, 1901. Most of the writing is not clear, so I don't know what that says. And this one was a little girl, Clara. She was 7. Doesn't say how she passed either. So I would assume this is mom and dad with her, or grandparents, but family. Those ones are a little more recent. These ones are older. Alright. We're just going to wander around and see what we see. Not sure what that little building is, but it was on that sign too. I'll make my way over here. And then there's like all these little foot trails that go like up in the mountain here. Not very many cemeteries have like hiking trails in them as well. So I think that's kind of interesting. This whole headstone has moved off of its foundation. Wow. Huh. She was apparently a teacher. Glad I came when the ground was dry, because that stuff would have been super slick. Let's see what this is down here. Oh my gosh, someone just lives right next to it. There's a little house down here. This is tucked away in like a residential neighborhood in here, so kind of interesting. What is this? Another memorial for like firefighters or military. Eagle Scout Project, City of Manitou, American Legion, Eber, Ducklow, Post 39, Kiwanis Club of Manitou Springs, Boy Scout Troop 18. That might be a well. I would assume so. You ever see that creepy movie, The Ring? You'll never look at wells the same again. Same thing, I don't know what this thing is. Let's see if there's a plaque on it. Huh. Strange. There's no plaque. Nothing written on it. Just a big cylinder. All of this is like right as you come in here. And then I don't know what this little building is. Maybe it's a chapel? Because like that's our entrance right there. National Register of Historic Places. I bet it was a chapel once upon a time. Can't see inside. Cute little spot though. This is made to look like logs. It says he was a woodman. That must be a little mausoleum right there. So we found Emma, so now we're going to just kind of explore and see what, if anything, we find. I do have my meter on. Not that I think we're going to get a lot of readings, but... a little bit of jumping, not a lot. Oh, Adams was the other one, and he's over here. Let's go to this one. He was the military captain, I think the sign said. It's funny how the ones that were important on the sign are on the outskirts. They're not like in the regular section. See, like there's Emma over there. She's like in her own little spot, tucked away. And same with him. He's in his own spot over here. Somebody left some little trinkets right here. Mr. Adams. Oh, we got a little flicker. So much glare. Mr. Charles Adams, are you with us out here in this beautiful area today? You hear the woodpeckers. Oh, that's interesting. His headstone actually says how and where he passed. Let's see if we can catch that. It says, let's see, born in Stettelton, Germany in 1840, killed in the Gentry Hotel disaster in 1895 in Denver. Rescuer of the captain, can't make it out. Something about the Indian massacre at the Colorado, 1879. U.S. Minister to Bolivia under President Hayes. Never heard of some of these things. Interesting. Alright, let's see if we set this up right here, maybe. Trying to find level ground. So, Mr. Adams, are you here with us? Do you wish to communicate at all? We'd love to just talk to you. Sounds like you were fairly important in your time. Sounds like you were through a lot of battles. I feel like that takes a lot of courage. Not everybody has that kind of courage. You have a beautiful spot here. I feel like one of these is your original headstone, and then they may have added another one later. And thank you for your service to this country. We're going to quit bugging you and we're going to move on. All right. All right, now I'm going to put some of my stuff up here. There. Just a little closer so we could try and see. There we go. We got everything in shot. Okay, we're going to see if she'll talk to us. Hello, Mrs. Emma Crawford. My name is Jenna. I'm a paranormal investigator, so I come out to places and try and communicate with those that have passed on. So these little things that I set up here in front of your headstone, they just light up. They let me know if you can hear me, or if you wish to communicate at all, you can talk into any of the stuff that I'm holding in my hands. I have a little recorder going. So I understand that you had a big role in things that happened here in Manitou, and that they celebrate you every year with casket races. Now, if I understand right, the story behind that was that there was either some sort of flood or a lot of rain, and so certain headstones and coffins were actually floating through the streets because the ground was so saturated that they didn't stay below ground. Was yours one of those that happened to pop loose? All right, let's see if we got anything. Mrs. Emma Crawford, my name is Jenna. I'm a paranormal investigator, so I come out to places and try and communicate with those that have passed on. So these little things that I set up here in front of your headstone, they just light up. They let me know if you can hear me, or if you wish to communicate at all, you can talk into any of the stuff that I'm holding in my hands. I have a little recorder going. So, I understand that you had a big role in things that happened here in Manitou, and that they celebrate you every year with casket races. Now, if I understand right, the story behind that was that there was either some sort of flood or a lot of rain, and so certain headstones and coffins were actually floating through the streets because the ground was so saturated that they didn't stay below ground. Was yours one of those that happened to pop loose? It doesn't sound like she communicated at all. She's not lighting anything up, which is totally fine. So Emma, you have a beautiful final resting spot. We're going to move on. We're going to go explore the rest of the cemetery. Alright, my lovelies, so the last part of the video got cut off. My phone was overheating. We were sitting in the bright hot sun. So as I'm editing the video, the long and the short of Miss Emma Crawford was that her final resting place was disturbed. Some hikers had found some of her bones, her skull and some other bones. And when police came to investigate, they were unsure of what to do with the remains. So rather than taking them back up to Red Mountain where her final resting place was supposed to be, her remains sat in wait for about 2 years before somebody came to claim them. His name was Crosby, was his last name. He was one of her pallbearers at her funeral, and so he claimed them, and then they reburied her someplace. And then where we were at, where her little headstone was, is a memorial for her. So I don't know that her remains are actually there. I think her remains are someplace else, but that was what we found out through some of the research. So hopefully next time we go ghost hunting, we'll actually see something cool. Maybe we'll capture something. Today was more about just getting out of the house, enjoying some good weather, and a little bit of sightseeing. Have a great weekend.